My name is Susan, and I'm abstinent today and very grateful to be in the company of other people looking for or staying in abstinence and in this incredible, wonderful program. I weigh and measure 3 meals a day from that awesome gray sheet. I write them down, I commit them to my sponsor. I don't eat between meals no matter what. I put abstinence first every day. Sometimes I have to put it first every meal. And a lot of times I have to put it first before the meals, as in when I'm getting ready to travel, like I am right now, and thinking ahead about what I'm going to pack for the airplane, what I'm going to pack on the other end, and trying to remind myself that I don't have to carry everything. That since I'm traveling within the United States, I'm reasonably confident that there will be stores where I'm going. And I want to start out by saying I've been thinking a lot about my early days in abstinence, partly because it just seems as though what I'm remembering is the excitement of the early days and how after just sitting through meetings, my arms crossed and thinking that you were all crazy, I finally decided to try a day of abstinence and got a sponsor and muddled through my first day. And thinking about things like how you said, you just actually won't be hungry on this program. And then one time I got hungry and I thought, oh, they didn't tell me the truth about that. And then I realized it was time for another meal. And it dawned on me that it might actually be normal to feel hungry before a meal. And it wasn't that long in Gray Sheet when I began to discover that if I wasn't hungry before a meal, I sort of felt cheated because it was really made the food taste so good. And in those early days, what I found, and I think newcomers, I hope you will find recovery just reaching its arms out to you in the ways that are particular for you and your body. But for me, I was, my abstinence date, which I forgot to tell you, is 7707. But I actually came into these rooms in 1999 in November. And that was when my gray sheet journey began. And as the weight was coming off, it wasn't just weight, it was also size. There were months when I lost 0 and went down a size or 2 even. And then there would be months when there was no discernible difference to the visual eye, but I was dropping pounds. The whole thing becomes really about the food and not so much about the weight. But in those early days, I was all about the weight. And I was one of those people, a lot of us have had this experience of walking by plate glass windows and wondering who that enormous woman was. And in the end, over the course of a year of my first abstinence, I took off 110 pounds. And then I will say that about 20 years later, when I went through menopause, I seem to have collected another 10, so that for a net loss of only 100. So I have, and I've not been able to shake it. So I think that at this point, I have a different kind of set point than I actually was hoping for, but it's mine. And I'm still passing for normal. So enjoy the early days of abstinence. I think they're really exciting. And I want to tell you that everything doesn't stop being exciting after that. I think one of the things I have valued most have been the conferences, the roundups, the opportunities to meet other GreySheeters, to learn new recipes, but also to see the different ways that people approach their own abstinence, and to learn from those who really speak to me about the strength of their abstinence. And I see so many people on this screen this morning that have meant so much to me in my journey in abstinence. And welcome especially to those who are new. Welcome to this great, wonderful, marvelous journey. And I will say that for me, I'm not a very good rule follower. I had a profession where I was a lawyer, an attorney, and it was my job in life to find loopholes. And I guess, and that was, I don't know, I have a mindset for it. I think since that first abstinent day in 1999, I have never once eaten anything off the gray sheet, but I have bent rules looking for an end run, looking for various things. It's just a character defect, but that's the way I come. And so I've had to start over many times, and that was for me just part of the journey. There was a moment in time in my abstinence when I remember being face to face with that character defect, and all I said was, here's the deal. If I'm on day one, the day I die, I win. So I had in me the commitment to continue coming back, and I will keep doing that for the rest of my life as long as I have to. So right now I've been abstinent since July 7th, 2007. So it's good. My life is good. My health is amazing. Not perfect. I'm just about to turn 76, and I am learning a little bit about the aging process, and discovering that it makes a lot of sense to focus and care for everything I have to do to keep in motion. And for me, that's an issue. My favorite physical activity is walking. I love walking. It sustains me, it nourishes me, it makes me happy. So naturally, I have a lot of foot problems, and really glamorous getting old, bunions and hammer toes. I mean, my God, it's just, but it's, as it happens, let's see, just about 2 years ago, with my kids warning me that I was getting older and I shouldn't be out in the sun too much. I was out on a very hot day ignoring them because I didn't feel old. And I got a heat stroke, and that was a really, really scary experience. But I spent an entire day in an emergency room. And once I kind of regained a weird sort of consciousness, and once I started being able to talk again, which was many, many hours, I started lobbying to go home because I didn't like it there. And the doctors looked at me and said, "You're not getting out of here anytime soon. You're not getting out of here until you have perfect labs. So just get used to it." Guess who went home that night? With the doctors kind of surprised about the whole thing. I was fortunate in that experience that I have a daughter who is also in this magnificent program. And she was with me every step of the way. And the first thing she did when we got to the ER was call my sponsor and say, I don't think Mom's going to be able to eat her lunch today. Can we talk about this?
That's 5 minutes left.
Thank you. Because she's not conscious. So, and I've fully recovered from that experience. I do not recommend it. And I don't care how young you think you are. Don't ignore warnings about heat. And you know we're going into a much more heated existence. So my life today is really wonderful. I am living in a multi-generational household where my older daughter, son-in-law, and 2 grandchildren live on the top 2 floors, and I have an apartment on the 1st floor. And you know, you can imagine when they first asked me to live with them as a GreySheeter, I said, my own entrance, my own kitchen. I gotta have my own kitchen. And they said, done. So that's what we have. And I have had just the last 2 nights, my grandsons, I had a sleepover in my place. And last night, my granddaughter had a sleepover in my place. So I am so lucky to have these little ones. And they are, they have picked up on GreySheet. One of them, I remember when she was little, said that she had decided she had a song plan and she could not sing a song until she checked to make sure it was in her plan. Having seen that. So, and they both know they can't take things off my plate. Or if they are starting to reach for something, they will say, is this Wade? And it is. If it is, the answer is no. So I am very grateful today and living a full life. I'm very busy. I'm not getting paid for being busy anymore, but I'm doing things that are meaningful to me and that nourish me spiritually, and I think do a little bit of good for the world that we're in. So thank you for letting me be a part of this magnificent journey with all of you. And thank you so much to those of you who have led me in this. I love you all.